Welcome! In this video, I will show you the top 10 youth academies in Brazil. You should always monitor these clubs as they generate the best new gens in the game. However, to help you get started, I'll share the list with the top 50 Wonderkids within these academies that I think you should monitor in Football Manager 2024 and also 2025. Oh, not all of them are actually in the game. Some of them are quite young and haven't made into Football Manager yet, but that makes the list even more exciting. By the way, I'm from Brazil and I love following Brazilian football. I must have spent more than 40 hours studying and researching for this video, so if you watch it to the end, I will share a special bonus with you. So let's get started, but before, hit the like button and subscribe to this new channel. Thank you very much. The first team on the list is Vasco da Gama from Rio de Janeiro. Vasco's total youth score is 40, 12 from youth facilities and academy coaching, and 16 from youth recruitment. Players developed by Vasco da Gama in recent years include Felipe Coutinho, who was amazing with Liverpool, but a huge letdown with Barcelona, as well as Douglas Luiz, who is now playing for the national team, had an amazing season with Aston Villa, and has recently signed for Juventus in Italy. My recommendation from Vasco is Ryan, the 17-year-old left-footed right winger, is a wonder kid in Football Manager, but also in real life. This season, he's been playing for Vasco's first team already, and also for Brazil's under-17 national team. With a potential ability of 170, he is someone you must sign as soon as possible. I have 4 more players from Vasco to recommend. The first one is Lucas Zuccarello. He's only 17 years old. He already played for Vasco's senior team. He is part of Brazil's under-17 squad. A lot of potential, great future. The second one is JP, a little older, 19 years old, but still a youngster. He plays for Vasco's senior team. He was one of Vasco's best players in the youth system. He's very technical, very smart, very modern player. How about Felipe Gabriel, 18 years old, goalkeeper, has been playing for Brazil's national team under 19 quite consistently, and he's been training with Vasco's senior team as well. Amazing future. And last but not least, a name that's not gonna be in Football Manager anytime soon, but who knows? Vinicius Catani, only 13 years old. He's already a Nike player. He plays as a forward, an attacking midfielder. Look him up on the internet because this kid is something else. 9th position in the ranking is Internacional from Porto Alegre. Just like Vasco, Internacional's total youth score is 40, 11 from youth facilities, 12 from academy coaching, and 17 from youth recruitment. Alisson is the greatest talent developed by Inter in recent years. Considered one of the best goalkeepers in the world, Alisson is also one of Liverpool's main players and the goalkeeper for the Brazilian national team. Some other famous talents include Alexandre Pato, former Milan national team, and also Fred, former Manchester United and currently with Fenerbahce in Turkey. My recommendation from Inter is Ricardo Matias. He's only 17 years old, but he's really tall, he's almost 2 meters high, and he's very strong as well, 85 kilos in strength. At the age of 17, he's already 13. He scored 25 goals in 50 games for Inter's youth team, so he may be the target forward you're looking for. Last but not least, his PA right now is 150. 2 other players that I hope will be better in Football Manager 25 are Gabriel Carvalho. He's a forward, only 16 years old, amazing player. And also Henrique Menke, he's a goalkeeper, 17 years old, plays for Brazil's under-17 national team, very promising. Number 8 is Corinthians from Sao Paulo. Corinthians' youth total score is also 40. It's 12 from youth facilities and academy coaching, and 16 for youth recruitment. Corinthians has developed some great players in its history. One of the best is Marquinhos, who is currently a center back for PSG and also for the national team. Another famous academy player from Corinthians is William, who played for Arsenal, Chelsea, and now is with Fulham. Yes, Marquinhos and William are great players, but my favorite one is Deco, who played for Barcelona and also a legend for Portugal. My recommendation from Corinthians is Breno Bidon. He is only 18 years old, he plays as a center mid, he's left-footed, and he's a very modern player. Breno has recently become one of Corinthians' main players, especially after Paulinho, former Barcelona and Tottenham player, decided to leave the club. His potential ability right now is 145, but I do expect the number to get much higher in Football Manager 2025. Two other players I recommend from Corinthians are Wesley Teixeira, 18 years old, plays as inverted left winger, and also Rafael Venancio, only 17 years old, plays as a center back, left-footed, really good player, great future. Check this out. Corinthians had one of the hottest prospects in Brazilian football. His name is Flora, and he's only 10 years old. Here's the problem though. Lucas Flora's parents thought that Corinthians were not taking care of their son, so they decided to take him to Palmeiras, Corinthians' rival. Lucas Flora is already a Nike player, and trust me, if nothing goes wrong, he will be a huge talent in the future. Atlético Paranaense is number 7 on the list. Atletico's youth score is also 40, with 13 in youth facilities, 13 in academy coaching, and 14 in youth recruitment. Atletico has developed some players well known to Europeans. Let's start the list with the most famous one. Fernandinho, former Manchester City legend, who won more than 30 trophies in his career and also played 2 World Cups for Brazil. Speaking of the World Cup, Atletico also developed Kleberson, remember him? Who won the World Cup with Brazil in 2002 and played for Manchester United. Most recently, Atletico developed Renan Lodge, left back, former Atletico Madrid, who now plays in Saudi Arabia. Atletico also developed Bruno Guimarães, who plays for Newcastle in the national team and is currently valued at 85 million euros. He is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. It was hard to pick one main recommendation, but I'm going with Mikael. He's a goalkeeper, 19 years old. He's been part of Brazil national squad since he was like under 15. And actually he joined Brazil national team, the senior national team, for a friendly against Morocco, I guess like last year or this year. His PA right now is 141. He is definitely one of the best prospects in Brazilian football, and I hope that his PA will be even higher in Football Manager 2025. I have 5 more recommendations from Atletico, and guess what? 4 of them playing the same position. Check this out. The first one is Sorriso. He's only 18 years old, plays as a left winger, and was part of Brazil's national team under 17. By the way, Sorriso means smile in English. The second one is Eduardo Kogicki, or Dudu Kogicki. He is an attacking midfielder, 18 years old, left-footed, number 10, and also, guess what? Played for Brazil under 17 national team. One of the hottest prospects is João Cruz, who is now playing for Atletico's senior team. He is 18 years old, also plays as an attacking midfielder, and is an amazing player. Yes, another attacking midfielder, his name is Shikechi. He's 18 years old, he plays really well with both feet, left and right, and is also a very hot prospect for Atletico. Last but not least, Gustavo Gomes. He's an attacking midfielder, only 16 years old. He's already a Nike player plays for the Brazilian national team, and I think this guy will be huge in a couple of years. Fluminense from Rio de Janeiro is number 6 on the list. Fluminense's youth score is 45, 13 from youth facilities, 14 from academy coaching, and 18 from youth recruitment. Fluminense has developed some amazing players. I'll start the list with a Real Madrid legend, Marcelo. The left back played almost 400 games with Real Madrid and won pretty much everything with the Spanish club. By the way, did you know that Marcelo still plays? And guess what? He plays for Fluminense right now. Another legend developed by Fluminense is Thiago Silva, former PSG, Chelsea, and who has recently joined Marcelo at Fluminense. With more than 100 games for the national team, Thiago Silva was also the captain for Brazil for many years. Other famous players include Fabinho, former Liverpool and Monaco, Roger Ibanez, and also Carlos Alberto, who won the Champions League with Porto. My recommendation will be Arthur, especially if you're playing Football Manager 2024. I'm a little bit hesitant because I know that Fluminense has some other amazing players whom I think the PA will be much higher in Football Manager 2025. He's a great player, he's 18 years old, left-footed, very technical, he likes to come deep to get the ball, tries to play out of trouble, likes the ball played into feet, kind of the classic number 10 from Brazil. He can also play as a center mid. His PA now is 140, but it could be higher in Football Manager 2025, especially if Arthur lives up to the expectations. Some other players from Fluminense include Esquerdinha, which means the left-footed player. He's 18 years old, plays as a left back. He has recently joined Fluminense's senior squad, and he also plays for Brazil's national team under 18. Another great name from Fluminense, a lot of hype around him, is Cauã Elias. He plays as a striker, I would say more like a target forward, plays really well with his back to the goal. He also plays for the Brazilian national team, and just like Esquerdinha, has recently joined the senior squad. Riquelme Felipe is another great player. He's only 17 years old, plays as a right winger, and has recently been called to join the Brazilian national team. Isaac Silva is joining Riquelme Felipe in Brazil's under 17. He also plays for Fluminense, of course. He's 17 years old, number 10, lots of flair, great player. Gremio from Porto Alegre is the next one on the list. This one is hot. Gremio's youth score is 45, 15 from youth facilities, 13 from academy coaching, and 17 from youth recruitment. Gremio has developed one of the best football players in history. A legend from Barcelona and the national team, Ronaldinho won pretty much everything in football, including a World Cup, UEFA Champions League, and the Ballon d'Or. Some other famous players include Lucas Leiva, who played more than 200 games for Liverpool and also for Lazio in Italy. Another player developed by Gremio and well known for people in Manchester is Anderson, who played for Manchester United and also Porto. Last but not least, Arthur, who played for Barcelona, Juventus, and now is playing for Fiorentina in Italy. My recommendation is this guy here, Gustavo Nunes. He's one of the hottest players in Brazilian football right now. So much so that Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, and Liverpool are in a bidding war for the attacking midfielder. By the way, his PA in Football Manager 2024 is only 140, but I think it's gonna be much higher in Football Manager 2025. One last comment about Gustavo Nunes is that he's very versatile. You can play him as an attacking midfielder or also as an inverted winger, inverted playmaker. He's really good and he will definitely be a great addition to your squad. Gremio has so many great talents, including Gabriel Mack. He just turned 16, he is labeled as the new Ronaldinho, and all European clubs are going crazy for him. The next one is Pedro Gabriel. He's only 17 years old, plays as a left back, plays for the Brazilian national team, and my personal opinion, this guy has a great future. He's a great player. Another one is Bernardo Zortea. He's a defensive midfielder, 17 years old, and also plays for the Brazilian national team. The next one is a real gem. His name is Roger Dias. He's 16 years old, plays as a right winger, he's left-footed. This guy is phenomenal. Last but not least is Riquelme Freitas. He's 17 years old, plays mostly as an inverted winger. This guy's flair is unbelievable. You need to watch his videos because it's something out of this world. Number 4 on the list is Flamengo from Rio de Janeiro. Flamengo's total youth score is 46, 15 from youth facilities, 14 from academy coaching, and 17 from youth recruitment. Flamengo has developed one of the best players in current football, Vinicius Junior. Sold for 45 million euros when he was only 16 years old. Vinicius Junior now is 23 and he's won 2 UEFA Champions League titles, and he's also part of the Brazilian national team. Another player developed by Flamengo was Adriano, a legend with Inter Milan, who also played the 2006 World Cup with Brazil. Speaking of Inter Milan, Flamengo also developed Julio Cesar, goalkeeper who had more than 200 games with the Italian club and won the 2009-2010 UEFA Champions League. Some other players include Paquetá, currently with West Ham, and Matheus França, attacking midfielder for Crystal Palace. My recommendation from Flamengo is Lohan. He's only 17 years old. He already plays for the senior team for Flamengo. He's left-footed, plays as an attacking midfielder or a right winger. His PA right now is 157, but I think that's gonna go up in Football Manager 25 because both Manchester United and Chelsea are chasing him. Last but not least, he made his debut for Flamengo when he was only 16 years old. He scored a goal and he became the youngest player in Flamengo's history to score a goal for the senior team. Flamengo has an extensive list of talents within its youth system. The first one is Vitor Hugo. He's 19 years old, already plays for the senior team, but this guy deserves to be on the list. His PA right now is 158 and he's an incredible player in Football Manager. The next 2 players on the list are quite young. Matheus Gonçalves is another youngster who's been playing with the senior team. He's 18 years old, left-footed, and plays as an inverted right winger. Ian Roberto is only 16 years old, plays as an attacking midfielder. Amazing future. And Jefinho, who is only 15 years old, this guy is incredible. He plays as an attacking midfielder, left-footed, and I hope he is in Football Manager 2025. I also recommend Caio Joshua, 17 years old, plays as an attacking midfielder, and has been one of Flamengo's hottest prospects since he was 11 years old. And last but not least, Davi Viana. He's 17 years old, he's striker, amazing future. This guy scored more than 200 goals so far for Flamengo's youth teams. We finally got to top 3 and Sao Paulo is number 3 on the list. Sao Paulo's youth score is 47. It is 13 in youth facilities, 14 in academy coaching, and 20 in youth recruitment. Sao Paulo has developed some amazing players. Let's start the list with Kaká, who simply won the Ballon d'Or in 2007 when he also won the UEFA Champions League with Milan. Kaká also won the World Cup with Brazil in 2002. Another legend developed by Sao Paulo is Cafu, considered by many one of the best right backs in the history of football. Cafu won the UEFA Champions League with Milan also in 2006 and 2007, and the World Cup with Brazil twice, in 1994 and in 2002. Next on the list is Casemiro, who won nothing but 5 UEFA Champions League titles with Real Madrid. Although he never won the World Cup with Brazil, Casemiro played more than 75 games for the national team. Speaking of Real Madrid, Éder Militão was also developed by Sao Paulo. Did you know that? Lastly, Sao Paulo also developed Oscar, who played for Chelsea and is now in the Chinese football, as well as Lucas Moura, who played for Tottenham and now plays in Sao Paulo again. My recommendation from Sao Paulo is Rian Francisco. He is a 17-year-old forward hailed as a goal machine by the Brazilian media. He has great pace, finishing, agility off the ball, and much more. Last year, in 2023, he scored more than 45 goals for Sao Paulo's youth team and got called up for the Brazilian under-17 national team. His PA is one of the highest right now at 166, just slightly below Rian from Vasco. If you haven't signed Rian yet, you have to do it now. Some other players from Sao Paulo that I recommend are William Gomes. He's 18 years old, left-footed, plays as a winger, and this year he's playing for Sao Paulo's senior team. Amazing player. The second one is Luca Marques. He's 17 years old, plays as a forward, and has recently been selected to play for Brazil's national team as well. Another Lucas is Lucas Ferreira. He's 18 years old, plays as an attacking midfielder, and has huge potential. The next one is one of my favorites, Igor Felisberto. He's 17 years old, plays as a right back. Amazing player, plays also for the national team. This guy's future is huge. Last but not least, a left-footed defender, Lucas Loss. Center back, very technical, great potential, captain for the team. I felt like I should add a defender to the list. Why not, right? The second best academy in Brazil is Santos. Santos' youth score is also 47, 13 from youth facilities, 14 from academy coaching, and 20 from youth recruitment. Trust me, a lot of amazing new gens will come out of Santos Academy. Santos was just responsible for developing the best footballer in the history of the game, Pelé. Pelé won 3 World Cups, the first one in 1958, when he was only 17 years old, and guess what? He scored 2 goals in the final. Pelé played a total of 1,363 games and scored 1,279 goals. Another legend developed by Santos is Neymar, who won the UEFA Champions League with Barcelona in 2014-2015, and also the first gold Olympic medal with Brazil in 2016. Some other names include Rodrigo, who now plays for Real Madrid, where he's won 2 UEFA Champions League titles already, and also Diego, who played for Werder Bremen, Juventus, and Atletico Madrid. Santos has been struggling this year. He got relegated to the 2nd division of Brazilian football, so my recommendations right now are a little bit limited. Anyways, I chose Souza. He's a left back, only 17 years old, really good player. He's been playing for Santos senior team right now, and also, just like everybody else, for Brazil's under-17 national team. His potential ability in Football Manager 24 is 148. He's a fast player, amazing dribbling, amazing pace, very technical. His attributes will grow a lot over the years. He is a really good player for most clubs in Europe. Other players for Santos include JP Sherman. He's a right back, 18 years old, and just like Souza, He's been playing with Santos senior team and he's been doing it really well. This guy is a really good player. The second name on the list is Lucas Young. He's only 18 years old, plays as an attacking midfielder, left-footed, amazing ball control, fast, smart. He has a bright future. The next one is Samuel. He's 18 years old, center back, one of the leaders for Santos U19, and he also plays for Brazil's under-19 national team. Rodrigo Pereira, or Rodrigo Cesar, as he's mostly known, he plays mostly as a left winger. He's 17 years old, very fast, and just like everybody else, he also plays for Brazil under 17 national team. One name you're gonna be hearing a lot about soon is Lucas Meirelles. He's a striker, only 17 years old, and he's very tall. He is 1.85 meters tall. Last but not least, another left back in Vinicius Lira. He's 16 years old, he's been playing for Santos since he was very young, and recently he's been called to join Brazil's national team. This kid has an amazing future. And finally, number one, the best academy in Brazil is Palmeiras. Palmeiras' total youth score is 47, 15 from youth facilities and academy coaching, and 17 from youth recruitment. Traditionally, Palmeiras has never developed a lot of players. However, that has changed a lot in recent years after the club made some significant investments in its youth system. Palmeiras youth teams basically win most tournaments in the country. By the way, in the last 3 years, 27 players developed by Palmeiras have played or are playing for the senior team. I think not even Ajax has done that in the past. So let's talk about players developed by Palmeiras. The first one is the list is Gabriel Jesus, former Manchester City and currently a striker for Arsenal. Another famous name is Enrich. The 18-year-old striker has recently signed for Real Madrid. He also played for the Brazil senior team in Copa America. Enrich holds the record of the youngest player to ever play for Palmeiras when he was only 16 years old. For Palmeiras youth teams, he scored 165 goals in 169 games. The next one on the list, and probably my favorite, is Estevão. This kid is simply amazing. He still plays for Palmeiras, but he is joining Chelsea next year when he turns 18 years old. Honestly, he has everything to win the Ballon d'Or one day. Some other names include Luis Guilherme, who's recently been signed by West Ham, Danilo, who plays for Nottingham Forest, and Marcos, the goalkeeper who won the World Cup with Brazil back in 2002. It's really hard to choose a recommendation from Palmeiras because all the Wonderkids in the game have already been sold, like Enrich, Estevão, Luis Guilherme. However, I will go with Vitor Reis. Although he's only 18 years old, he's recently been promoted to Palmeiras senior team, and everyone's shocked at how good he did. He's really good at marking, tackling, his positioning is amazing, he has great personality. This kid has an amazing future. By the way, his PA in Football Manager 2024 is 150, but I do expect that number to be higher in Football Manager 2025 based on what he's been playing right now. So here's the next batch of Palmeiras Wonderkids the European clubs will be fighting over really soon. First one is Thales. He's 19 years old, plays as a center attacking midfielder or a forward. He's left-footed, tall, strong. This year, he's already scored 18 goals in 20 games, and Manchester United is trying to sign him no matter what. The next one, and probably the hottest prospect for Palmeiras right now, is Wesley Silva. He's 15 years old, he's been playing with the under-20 team, he's an Adidas player, and he also plays for Brazil's under-17 national team. He is out of this world. Luigi is also another player you may be interested in scouting. He's 18 years old, plays as a striker, and this year he scored 12 goals in 20 games for the under-20 team. Luis Benedetti, center back, 18 years old, 2 meters tall. This guy scored so many goals off headers that Palmeiras head coach for the senior team has recently promoted him as a backup for a few games. He's also left-footed and very technical. Great player, amazing future. The next one is Antonio Marcos. Very interesting case. He's only 17 years old. He's been with Palmeiras for less than 6 months. He's already scored 11 goals in 13 games. And everyone is very surprised at how good he is. So much so that he's recently been called to join Brazil's under-17 national team. And last but not least, Eric Belay. He's 17 years old, plays as an attacking midfielder, left-footed, amazing player. He's now playing for the under-20 team, and he scored 20 goals in 38 games, although he's not a striker. Thank you very much for watching the video, and as promised, here's my bonus list. First one is Roger Gabriel. He's 17 years old. He plays for Bahia as an attacking midfielder, where he scored 20 goals in 29 games last season. He did so well that he spent a couple of months with Manchester City in a tournament in Portugal. The next one is Cauã Basile. He's only 11 years old. And listen, when he was 8, he signed a professional contract with Nike, and he became the youngest athlete to ever sign a contract with Nike. He plays as an attacking midfielder or forward for Santos. At this age, I don't think they have a position yet, but his agent is Neymar's family. El Mago Joaquim, 8 years old. He's the youngest player on the list. He plays futsal for Palmeiras, but at the age of 8, he signed a contract with Adidas and has become the youngest player to ever sign a professional contract with the German company. His nickname El Mago, the Magician, is because of his resemblance with Jorge Valdivia, the Chilean who played for Palmeiras back in the 2000s. The next one on the list is Vitor Lamonier. He's 16 years old, goalkeeper. He plays for the Cruzeiro, the same team that developed Ronaldo, and he's recently been called to represent Brazil in the under-17 national team. Another talent is Matheus Zeppi. He's 18 years old, plays as a center attacking midfielder for Atletico Mineiro, and last season he scored 14 goals in only 11 games. And last but not least, João Veneno, the Poison. That's his nickname, not because he is poisonous, but because he got bit by a snake when he was younger. So his nickname is João Veneno. He's also a very poisonous forward. He plays for Brazil's under-15 national team. Great talent. And he was one of the top scorers in the last U15 tournament. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and thank you very much.